8:34. It is the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser. Dustin Nielsen still off. Lieutenant Eric Will Fraser, YouTube Trev behind the monitors here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We are streaming as well. You can find it on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and on YouTube. Always a fun segment to pop the YouTube on if you are watching this morning. Hit the thumbs up. Give us a like. We are steadily approaching 200. Let's change 200 by the end of the show if we haven't already. Hey, we also eclipsed the 10.5K on the subs, hey? We got there.
Where's our parade?
I'd like to see Connor McDavid's dad in here cheering this on.
Yeah.
Hey, why not? Dustin Nielsen, scheduled to be back Tuesday. Will be back once again Monday to wrap up Grey Cup in the weekend. It was for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's get into it. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We are joined by Bradley. Doesn't matter.
B-Rad?
B-Rad. That's
I actually hate.
Okay. Sticking with B-Rad then.
I love it. You got an opinion on it. Bradley Roskin?
Rosjan.
Sales manager. He is here for Bow River Brewing. He kindly made the trip up, and we thank you for your time, man. This is great. We got a lot of different beers here, but
and I'd like to thank Sobeys and Safeway for featuring our Gingerbread Lager Beer of the Week. It's pretty exciting, and to have that reach in all of Alberta for this one, and this is one of our true seasonals that we do.
Yeah.
And it's very a festive beer, and we're just excited that more people around Alberta have the opportunity to grab it.
it's why we have a studio audience in here. Troy, the Godfather, he's a brother-in-law here of the regular host, but he heard about this gingerbread beer coming in. That's why he's here. He needed to come in and get a sip and a sample. So I'm excited for this because we usually have, brewers come in and it's kind of variation on a theme of IPAs, this and that and the other.
Yeah.
But this one is certainly different, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. And so when we make this, we start off with our Riverfest Amber Lager, and this beer had won us the gold medal in the Canadian Brewing Awards. It just got the judges' selection at the Alberta Beverage Awards. And then we take that beer, we add ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon.
Okay.
And the best part about it is that doesn't add a lot of sweetness, so this beer is still beer forward and balanced, and so you can have 4 and 5 easily, but you kind of get a more festive feeling when you're drinking. So they're great for Christmas parties, great for just... Well, the snow started falling today.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, it's a perfect day.
Trying to sell a Christmas beer and it hasn't snowed yet.
$14.99 for the 4-pack. That is your beer of the week. Yeah. But you brought in a few others, did you not?
Yeah, so they paired it. So you can get these at some of the Safeways and Sobeys. We have our High Country Amber Lager.
Okay.
This one had 5 judges' selections of the Alberta Beverage Awards. I like to describe it as a UK pub style beer.
Okay.
But it's also if that pub were in Alberta.
Okay.
Like we take these traditional styles and then we kind of form them for the contemporary audience of Alberta. So that is our audience. That's who we want to make beer for.
So imagine an English pub beer served cold.
Yeah. With a little carbonation. But the region we were trying to emulate with this has very hard water. So we actually had to up the hardness of the water to make this beer.
And that's a little bagpiping Sasquatch. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The art on there? I love it. That's great.
Like our owners at our tap room, they play bagpipes.
Okay.
So they have they do lessons every Saturday. So if you come into the tap room on Saturdays between 11:30 and 12:30, you'll hear bagpipes.
Oh, we have a listener, Fergie's Prostate. He's a piper as well. He's going to love this. And you're Scottish, correct?
Yeah, I do.
You know your way around a pipe.
Yeah, I've never been known to be in the same room. Like usually they want to be on the other side of the river
from afar. Yeah,
piper adjacent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you want to be a good 500 meters away. That's when it's beautiful.
Yeah. That's when you can lull yourself to sleep with
the haunting tunes of the bagpipe.
Yeah.
I used to live on the Stampede Parade, and those bagpipes at 7 a.m. were
still haunts you.
And
to
of course,
this day.
it's the day before Stampede, so I was out, and trying to sleep through that is impossible.
Regimental wake-up call.
It's kind of haunting in the brewery because it's so echoey, and it's pretty cool.
And so what do you want to kind of set things up here in terms of the lineup and in terms of trying the first and going down the list?
All right, so I'll tell you about the other ones. We have a Scared Rabbit. It's an IPA. It's West Coast style, so a lot more
hoppy.
Yeah, but with those like pine notes from the hops.
Yeah.
I find that beer either has like more of those piney notes or those citrus notes from hops. This one, West Coast, so we go pine.
Yeah.
But it's 5.7%, so it's not like a crazy double IPA or if you have two, you can't drive home kind of thing.
7.9%.
Yeah, like... So, like a little bit about Bow River, we try to do the more sessionable, approachable versions of every style. Yeah. We want to be the beer you can drink a lot of. Like,
or you'll order a second.
Yeah. So we're all about balance and drinkability.
Yeah.
Then we have our Cherry Raz Wit. But let's get started drinking here. I'll start pouring the...
Yeah, absolutely. Start with the gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
Rob from the Grove is very interested, genuinely curious about this lager. This will be, and this is, again, as I said, in all the rest of the breweries, we love them and it's very educational.
Champ. I thought
this
for
is great.
sure that...
Look at this. When he brought out the small glasses, it worried you a bit, eh?
My experience is in bartending, so...
Yeah. I saw you dumping that in. I'm like, oh, that's going to go. But it didn't. You're a
little angle on the spout.
What a pro. I'm taking notes.
Connor McDavid, 1,000 points. That's where we need to start. Yeah. Cheers, boys.
I know I'm from Calgary, but
well, I'm going to ask you this.
I have had a lot of joy cheering against the Oilers.
Yeah, I was going to say, exactly.
I get to watch good hockey. I get to see some amazing things. Yeah. It's lovely living in Alberta because we get all the Oilers games and the Flames games. Yeah, it's way better than talking to Canucks fans.
Well, that's what we can all agree on here. Hey, yeah. What do you think, Will?
It's a gingerbread cookie. Absolutely, it is. So yeah, you mentioned it. It's got the sort of the bread forward lager, and then just that perfect sort of balance of
beer first a bit. Spice. Yeah, you're not
just
too
enough.
Too much. Yeah,
like give you that festive feeling. I say.
See, and I thought this was going to be more like a dark, where it's sort of molasses forward. It is not molasses forward. It is light.
Nope.
That's what's really nice about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. So like our owners, we're a family run business. So our owners, a married couple, she's from Germany. He was born in Montreal. He spent the 90s in California. Oil and gas took him there. So he got to see up close
Bakersfield,
that craft beer arc.
Yeah.
And Oil and Gas took him to Houston in the aughts. That's where he met Beatrice. They get married. They were always homebrew people. They watched Houston go from 2 craft breweries down to 1, then explode. So he got to see kind of how the craft beer arc went there. Oil and Gas brings them up to Canada, Calgary, during the teens. They decide to start a brewery when breweries start blowing up.
Yep.
And, we kind of see this craft beer arc happening again. So we kind of have this experience with our group that, let's meet them at the end. Like, you're going to go through your journey of tasting dill pickle beers, your oolong teas, all that stuff.
Yeah, people are like, I like to be challenged.
And then you get to a point where you are at a bar watching a hockey game and you just want 5.
Yeah.
So that's where we really strive. And we're starting to notice that Alberta's kind of coming down to that, and we've noticed steady growth here. Pretty.
Have you been with them since kind of the beginning, ground floor up, or?
No, I'm fairly. I've been here for over a year. Okay. I've been doing the sales position for about 6 months now.
Okay.
I was running their tap room before this.
Okay.
So very, very versed in talking about our beer.
It looks like a great, if you are in the area down there, the tap room looks great. You guys got Nintendo Switch. You can watch stuff. I mean, you got sports, board games, the whole bit. Bench seating, kind of that picnic bench vibe and atmosphere. That's to me, and in terms of, you mentioned the bagpipes too, but that's just looks like a fun place to go and have a couple of these.
With a great view of the brewery too.
Yeah,
like it's wide open. You can, if you come during the day, we'll probably be canning. We do a bit of contract work for some of our friends, like at Uncommon, and there's always something coming off the canning line to possibly get a sample to try the freshest beer. So
love it. We're with Brad here today, sales manager, Bow River Brewing from Calgary. Let's go down the line here and see what else we got in the candy lineup.
All right, we'll go a little sweet now. Our cherry raz wit.
Okay.
So we brew a Belgian wit that we. So when we brew our Belgian wit, we brew it. We let the yeast. Once the yeast is done fermenting, we add fresh BC cherries and raspberries.
Okay.
And then we reactivate the yeast.
Okay.
So it feeds on those sugars. So normally when you do fruit beers, you're trying to stay as true to the fruit. So you usually add the fruit right before packaging. But with this one, their cherry and raspberries are so tart. If we did that, it would almost be a sour. So we just wanted to, by letting the yeast ferment, it kind of rounds out those flavors.
Mellows it out a little bit.
Gives it more of a fruit essence.
Okay.
And at 5.3%, it's just a nice fruity wheat beer.
Based on the award-winning Athabasca wit as well, as you mentioned too. Cheers. Hating the Canucks, I guess, eh? Why not, eh?
Yeah.
We're all in agreement there in this room.
Canucks. Yeah. Well, I like that. So usually, like with a Belgian wit, it can be sort of banana forward almost. This does not have that sort of banana. This is...
And the base beer is it does have that banana clove flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is with the fruits that you've chosen. Like you mentioned, how it can be a little bit too sour. I think that actually helps. In this situation.
It's balanced. You can easily see yourself drinking, and they're very refreshing. You could drink a few of these.
Yeah,
we see it in the tap room all the time.
Yeah, this would go with a pressed sandwich very well.
Yeah,
you got a good menu here too. Speaking of food, pizzas. Hey, what is it? 10-inch pizza every Thursday for only $13.
Yep.
Is that that's the main thing on the food menu? I love a good brewery and tap room with a food menu as well that you got.
So we have we don't have a full kitchen. We kind of have the oven with the reheat license. So we are dog friendly and pet friendly all year round.
You check all the boxes here.
Yeah. So and it's just nice to be able to have like a little bite to eat when you're. When the beers go down so fast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Steak and cheese, meat pie, wings, chicken bites, waffle fries, tater tots, warm pretzel, Dijon mustard. Hey, gotta love it.
Yeah.
And a variety of pizzas. So again, if you're looking for a beer and a bite, they'll fix you up right. And once again, $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor will be on the line following this segment. Text in Beer Me right now. We'll throw them all into a hat, and one of you lucky texters will get $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, where you too can pick up one of these drinks, either the ones we're sampling or the beer of the week, which is the $14.99 4-pack from Bow River Brewing, the Gingerbread Lager. Where are we going next?
We're going to the High Country Amber Ale.
All right. And this is with the Sasquatch on the
Yes.
Who does the art for you guys? Is this a locally type of thing? Or
we're actually changing our labels right now.
Okay.
So we're in that process. We love how our labels look together. But sometimes on liquor store shelves, with what everyone else has done, they're like a higher glossy.
Yeah.
So we have this new design with a glossier feature coming out. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
We've labeled 2 so far. So it does take us a little time to get through all the old stock. I say old. It's not old. It moves pretty quick.
Yeah, High Country Scottish Amber Ale. Let's take it down. Anybody want to cheers to anything right now? Oilers weekend, Grey Cup.
Glasgow Rangers.
Glasgow, up the Jers.
Yep.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, a Scotch ale is just... Isn't that...
Ooh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice?
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
The answer for a beer for today, that's my answer. That's what I'm picking. That's a good one. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it's just... it just kind of reminds you of just being in a pub.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, no, you should watch Glasgow Rangers games while drinking this. Absolutely.
Sure, anything. Hibernian, the whole bit. I'll watch the whole SPL.
Fleury played for... Who? Didn't Fleury play somewhere in Ireland or somewhere?
Well,
This is more of a Calgary trivia question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fleury's your problem. He's not us.
Yeah. I don't see him on the pitch anytime soon or in the past. But that's an interesting. That's pub trivia right there. Is what you're speaking here.
We try not to kick people when they're down, so we.
We've been known at our tap room. We invite a Flames group podcast group called Fireside Chat, and we let them host trivia. The last Battle of Alberta, we had them in and had some good Oilers and Flames questions. So it was a lot of fun.
You got a non-alcoholic option as well in the brewery. We don't have it with us today, but just for the people who don't like the alcohol in their beer as well, which is an ever-growing popularity right now.
Absolutely, because they started making non-alcoholic beers that taste like beer now. Like the process, the technology has gotten so much easier and better. It's still a complicated process. There's a lot of transferring and hoses and stuff when we're doing hoses. So many hoses. But it's we have a blonde out right now. We're experimenting with an amber. The blonde is called River Runner Blonde Ale. It's a non-alcoholic, and we're really proud of it. And
It's nice to have
just
when you have
that
the full...
it's that biggest growing trend right now.
Absolutely.
Is
Well,
the
listen,
non-alcoholics.
And if you can do it right, or try to perfect it as
I
best you
run,
can.
and like when you're in any sort of like a training block and stuff like that, like alcohol's not great on your system, and so it is nice to be able to still go out with your friends and be a part of the group and not the guy sitting there with a water. So I will say I appreciate it.
Two of my best friends have quit drinking. To
be able to still go out on the town.
I asked for my wife as well. I always like to add it in there. But we do have Mike the Michigan fan chiming in. Paris Jewelers inbox 7802189999. Fleury played for the Belfast Giants.
Good.
We've settled that.
Thanks, nerd.
I knew some sicko out there would have that answer to that question.
That is a genius right there.
Oh, yeah. So I knew somebody would be itching to say that. What are we capping it off with here?
All right, we'll do the Scared Rabbit Hoppy IPA.
We're once again with Brad, sales manager of Bow River Brewing down in Calgary. If you want to check them out, bowriverbrewing.com. Great website, very packed with information, everything. Once again, full food menu. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, all that type of stuff, and it looks like a great, fun tap room as well. Scared Rabbit Hoppy Pale Ale. I love the art on these cans. I got to tell you that. It's
so like the Bow River name. We're named after the lifeblood of Southern Alberta.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We like to do anything related to the animals and stuff. Like I started doing a few T-shirt designs with river otters.
Okay.
Because they're very, like the river otter has actually been a comeback species for the Bow River. It means the river's healthy, good fish. Sometimes the fishermen have a little battle, but river otters, they're a very social creature.
Absolutely.
Slightly mischievous.
Yeah.
If that doesn't describe me and my friends drinking beer.
That's right.
I don't know what it
the
is.
river otter does look like if it could, it would order a pint.
Yeah.
Don't they use the rocks to crack the kind of thing?
Yeah. Just grab a rock,
crack
smash the beer,
yeah.
open up the top,
There
and you got a shotgun.
Shotgun. Yeah, exactly.
And like our owners took the name for the Scared Rabbit because when they kind of decided that this was the recipe, their kids came in that day and they're like, "Dad, we saw a rabbit getting chased by an owl." And so that was the birth of the name Scared Rabbit.
Love a good story behind a beer.
Yeah. Cheers.
Well, to the rabbit, hopefully it turned out okay, and to the owl.
To Nashville losing tonight. Not a direct Flames reference. But
well, we're cheering against
adjacent.
somebody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Out of the park.
That's an approachable West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you have a West Coast IPA, like man, it can knock you back on your seat.
Yes,
this one actually
There-
makes you want to go back in.
You
It goes
want
back to that
balance.
drinking
in a
more of the
beer.
beers. Yeah.
You want your bitterness to match the hop, to match the malt.
Yeah.
And
You're right. It's
just something smooth.
It's a maturation of like the whole craft beer sort of course. Like it always starts with the hardcores that want as many IBUs as possible and to just like shock their system.
That's
and
that
now
arc.
and now we're coming back to a more mature beer.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
We're very mature.
Yeah.
Demure.
Demure. Tommy loves the demure word too. He'll love that. Yeah. The Gingerbread Lager is the beer of the week. Once again, that is $14.99 for the 4-pack at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. You guys got a lot more than we tried today, but I want to thank you for bringing what we got. Prairie Night Smoky Porter. That sounds interesting. Wild Water Blonde Ale.
Yeah, that Prairie Night. It's we just released this season's.
I went all over
so
that.
good.
Yeah,
Is it a peated malt that you're using? How does it get smoky?
Yeah, with peat moss.
Yeah.
They smoke the barley.
Yeah. Like you would for a whiskey or
and this one it's not like a campfire in your face smoke. It's just subtle hints.
It's the bagpipes across the way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I like to describe it as your first coffee when you're camping. Like your campfire adjacent, you have something roasty. It is a light-bodied porter, so it does go down real smooth.
Yep.
It's not like a one and done, but yeah, that one is we're really proud of that one. It's won the judges selection 4 years in a row now.
I believe it.
Since we brought it out.
Sounds delicious.
Martin says Scared Rabbit would be Fraser's boxing nickname if he fought Jake Paul. We thank you again, Brad, for coming up and bringing all these beers and sampling with us. Once again, Beer Me.
Thanks.
780-218-9999. Text in Beer Me and you could win $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. If you want to stick around for 5 minutes, we're going to do the wrap here for William Huff.